Hello everyone, it's me again. Welcome to 2025. Existential dread is setting in. I hope you're all feeling happy and safe and hope you all had a good 2024. I wanted to make a video just reflecting on the last year and talk about a few things that were worth talking about on video but didn't really warrant their own sort of dedicated video themselves, because there's a few things to talk about here on the channel. What I'll do with this video is I'll front load everything relevant to like the channel and wargaming and that kind of stuff and talk about some more sort of heavier topics towards the end. But in the meantime, I'm well, I'm safe, and I hope you all are too. First of all, I want to chat about the online store I opened. Now, about a month ago I announced this. This is Geeky Bits, a store where I'm selling game tokens and components, and it's gone well. Still very much early days in terms of the amount of orders we're getting, but I just want to say a huge thanks to those of you who have put orders through that. I can't stress enough how important these early orders are in a sort of a new startup business. Every new order means I'm paying for the platform for one more month. I can keep, the bills for the website, the hosting, all that kind of stuff. Every order means I can do that, or I can buy some more stock to make some more stuff. Basically, it means I'm not running the business at a loss in the early stages, and that's pretty significant. In terms of what I've been working on, we do have a few new ranges coming soon. I am working on some basic MDF wooden bases. Can I get the camera to focus on that? Ooh, there it goes. Your old 30mm square base, a classic. Every wargamer needs these. No, in all seriousness, we'll have a whole heap in different shapes and sizes, basically trying to make sure that we cover all the bases for all, the big war games out there. Have all the geometric standards so you can just get whatever you want. The key thing with MDF bases is they are dirt cheap to produce, and they're much cheaper to buy than plastic bases, so it'll be like a good bulk thing to get. Alongside everything else on the website. We're also working on a range of Marvel Crisis Protocol tokens. Now, I was going to try and get Armada tokens done after my range of X-Wing tokens, but I have had a request to work on some Marvel tokens to use as prizing for an ongoing tournament here in Melbourne. So that's what I've been working on instead. Basically, the idea is get a range of basic Marvel tokens out, and then we can sort of tweak them and do what we need for these local events. Indeed, it's something I really want to focus on with this kind of stuff. Work with various game clubs to make custom prizing. To me, this is something that's really at the heart of tabletop gaming. Having those kinds of events, meeting people and having these little trinkets to remember these events by. So if you are in a local Australian club and you want this kind of stuff made for your tournaments, please get in touch. hairynickgaming@gmail.com. Link for that and the web store down in the description below. Next up, I wanted to have a quick chat about Gundam, of all things. Didn't think I'd be talking about Gundam here on the channel, at least not in the meantime, but Bandai, the producers of the great Gunpla models that we've all come to know and love, have put their hat in the ring and decided to produce a miniatures game and a trading card game. Now, in terms of what we talk about here on the channel, I'm far more interested in talking about the miniatures game. And look, there's not really a lot of information we have to talk about. That's why I'm talking about it in this video and not a separate dedicated video. But what we know looks pretty interesting. They're on hex bases, just like Battletech. So perhaps there'll be a bit of crossover in how Gundam Assemble and Battletech runs in terms of their rule system. The models are about 2 inches high and come on these single sprues. And so far, from what we can see, there are mobile suits from various different Gundam animes. Some of these are from like the original old 70s Gundams. Some of them are much newer, like there's Gundam Wing models here as well, which is cool. I imagine there are lots of different fans who want to sort of pick and choose different eras, and the fact that it's all intercompatible is really, really cool. Personally, I really want to look at the original series, the 0079 Gundams, particularly the Zeon suits. I don't know why, I've always quite liked the Zaku's. I think they're just pretty cool looking. And apart from all of that, the first thing that crossed my mind when I saw that Bandai were making a Gunpla tabletop game, it's such an obvious fit. It's such an obvious thing that could have been done for such a long time. And I think if Bandai are able to produce this and create packs of models at anywhere near the value proposition of the current range of Gunpla we have right now, I think a lot of wargamers are going to have a very rude wake-up call in terms of the value they pay for their tabletop gaming. It is said a lot on YouTube, and I know a lot of people are probably sick of hearing this, but it cannot be overstated how good value Gunpla is in terms of the quality of the product that you get. It's always been a sticking point for me personally, especially when we look at some of the higher prices. I'm just going to name the companies by Games Workshop, by Atomic Mass Games in particular. When we're sort of paying $20, $30 plus for these single character models, it does become a bit of a head scratcher at times. Look, I'm not saying their models are bad. In fact, those two companies produce fantastic miniatures. But one thing in particular, and I know I'm being a dead horse at this point, but whatever. I talk about X-Wing on this channel, so I'll talk about it again. One of the reasons that Atomic Mass Games cited when they decided to end X-Wing was the cost of production, which of course led a lot of us to be very frustrated. Many of us content creators pointed out that, hey, everything's gone up in price. You know, maybe put it out there and see how the community reacts. But more to the point, Bandai also produced Star Wars models. This here in particular is a little Jedi Starfighter with the little hyperspace ring. I think it cost me about $7 Australian. Now, this admittedly was before COVID and everything, but even taking into account like the current pricing and how good quality these models are, they are a small fraction. They're about a third of the cost of X-Wing models. And the amount of detail on these sprues is quite ridiculous. You even get a little transfer sheet. In the case of this model, it's just stickers, but there are plenty where you can actually get water slide transfers. Actually, with some of these Bandai kits, you get stickers or water slide transfers, which is nice to have that option, actually. Some people don't like water slide transfers. They're a bit more complex to apply than stickers, but they do look nicer. Look, all of that to say, looking at the fact that a company is able to produce these things in such high quality, and the fact that X-Wing models on a sprue was never explored, is a real head scratcher. And look, I know Bandai is not an American company. I know that they go through different manufacturing processes and the different costs involved with that kind of stuff. I just have to believe that if you're able to make this kind of stuff at a fraction of the price of the X-Wing models that were being sold, I just can't believe that you, as a company who was in control of this game, were exploring these avenues in good faith. I can't believe that there was a genuine attempt to make X-Wing more feasible for the company. I just don't. The positive out of all of this is Gundam Assemble looks like it's going to be awesome. And yeah, just to reiterate, if it's anything near the quality and cost of their current Gunpla models, we're going to get a really awesome tabletop game that's built to a great standard at a great price. No guarantee of that. Obviously, we don't know what boxes are being sold and what price it is, but I hotly anticipated it. And if it gets sort of good worldwide support and, you know, the rules seem interesting enough, I might talk about it here on the channel. Okay, with those out of the way, I wanted to talk to some heavier subjects, some more personal stuff. Look, honestly, if you're here just for the tabletop stuff, you're more than welcome to stop the video now. I completely understand. Like, subscribe, join the Discord, all that kind of stuff. But for those of you who want to hang around, I do want to talk about the channel moving forward and that kind of stuff. I did speak last year about how I've been diagnosed with ADHD, and that honestly has kept affecting my ability to make stuff on the channel. Sort of get really hyper-focused on some things and makes it hard to follow up with different kind of subjects. For example, I made a lot of Star Wars Unlimited content around September last year during the preview season for Twilight of the Republic, and I really had a lot of fun making those videos. But in terms of the effort having to go in to make those videos, it was a lot, and I did feel rather burnt out by the end of it. I actually haven't made any videos for the newest set that's being spoiled. Looks awesome, by the way. It's called Jump to Lightspeed. I'll be definitely jumping on that. I'm still playing Star Wars Unlimited. It's a fantastic game, but I sort of have to reassess on what I put into these videos and what's sort of realistic in terms of my own time, effort, mental energy, what I'm able to focus on, and how I'm able to sort of spread the load across the different kind of stuff I want to make, because it honestly did make it difficult to make other stuff. I know people want to see more X-Wing content, and I was working on some more stuff, commenting on the different rule systems. I know people have been loving those videos. Thank you for the support with those. I mentioned I wanted to make a video on heroing and how the sort of heroic game design affected the way that Atomic Max Games were curating X-Wing, and the way I was approaching making that video, scripting it out, going through it. For those of you who have ADHD, you might understand, but just getting into these spirals of indecision about how to approach stuff and trying to record stuff and re-record it and changing my mind halfway through, it just got exhausting. It got to the point where I just couldn't get it across the line, and I had to just step back and say, no, I'm not making this video. I can't do it. In terms of the way I make video, it's always been off the dome, and I've always struggled when it comes to making scripted stuff because I find I overthink things. It's just really hard to put in all the effort, follow through, and not sort of get caught up with the process. And that's something I have to work on personally. I did mention in that video as well, where I spoke about having ADHD, that, look, I might go on long breaks. I might start making lots of videos all at once. At this point, I make no promises in terms of my output. I just need to do the kind thing for myself. I need to make sure I think of myself first and don't put myself in a situation where I am just completely burnt out and I can't do these other things, whether it be other videos I want to make or, you know, just regular day-to-day stuff. I've got to take care of myself as well. So I just want to make that point clear. I do still want to make videos on Star Wars Unlimited. I just want to reassess how I do that. Same with X-Wing and same with anything else I want to make. And there's just one more topic I wanted to bring up, and I just want to be careful with the way I approach this because I don't consider myself that well equipped to comment on these kinds of things. I'm just not an expert when it comes to world events or when it comes to sort of deep diving into anything that isn't little plastic spaceships. I just want to let people know that in regards to the recent events that are happening, especially in the USA right now, not exclusively, but that's obviously the big hot topic that we're talking about recently. A lot of people in marginalized groups have a very real and understandable reason to be very nervous right now. It's some pretty heavy stuff. I'm not going to lie, it's very hard for me to talk about, but I think it is important that we do. For as long as I have a space here on the internet, whether it be my YouTube, my Discord, whatever, those of you in those groups have a safe space to hang out and just enjoy the hobby or just want to shoot the shit, whatever. Come to those spaces and we'll hang out. I don't have time for people who don't believe that everyone deserves the basic human decency that is afforded to all of us. Whether that be for their race, gender identity, sexuality, religious belief, whatever. We're all just here on this earth to hang out and we all deserve to live our lives with relative safety. Be kind to one another. Please be kind to one another. Trans rights are human rights. No matter how you fall on these kinds of issues, I think the general notion that everyone deserves to feel safe and happy shouldn't be a controversial thing to say. And if you don't think that's the case, just unsubscribe, leave me alone, don't watch my content, I don't want you. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. And with all of that said, if you do want to like and subscribe and hang around for more stuff, jump on the Discord. All the details for that down in the description below. Please, everyone out there, stay safe, be happy, be kind to each other, and I'll catch you all in the next video.